And continuing the topic of real estate, what are some of the unique challenges queer and trans people face when buying and selling a home in Florida now?
Absolutely. So I work a lot. My business is actually over 80% LGBTQ plus
Oh,
people.
that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, in the past year, I've helped over 10 trans people, which is just statistically improbable, except it's my business model,
Right.
right? So those are the pieces. And I will admit, when I bought my first house, I wasn't in real estate yet. I didn't know anything. And actually, we were not allowed by the closing attorney to take title in a way that was legally afforded to us. So that was some homophobia that he actually said, well, when you get married, you can just quit claim it to yourself. So
Wow.
I faced a potential legal issue that I didn't need to. I just didn't know any better. So that's where when I enter conversations, it's what might you not know? So you're talking about queer people. The reality is some people aren't married, and that affects some of those benefits. One really big one that we see is that for a VA loan, you can only be on a loan together if you're married or if you both have served.
Oh, okay.
So we have couples that have been together 20 years. It doesn't matter. The loan is still not going to allow for you to be together
Wow.
unless you're married or you both served. The other piece of that is thinking about how do things play out. So for example, with trans people, you may have different names. You may have different parts of your identity that link to different times. So
Right.
I have sellers that they bought the house under one name and now they're selling it under another. We need to take that into account. For buyers, if you had one name and you've changed your name, that's going to come up when the lender pulls it. I actually had somebody, he had changed his name and his gender 10 years ago. And one of the 3 credit bureaus had never updated his identity. So it just came through as no credit score.
Oh, wow. Oh,
wow.
okay.
Well, that's a problem,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
all of those are required.
Yeah.
I work a lot with veterans too. So if you are a trans person who served in the military, your benefits may be linked to a different identity. None of this is a problem. You just have to work with people who are informed
It's
to know.
education, yeah.
Correct. What might you not know?
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing in Florida, especially over the last probably 5 or 6 years, is we can't fix everything. So I've had people, especially couples who have like 2 girl or 2 boy names, who say, well, how do we know that the seller's not discriminating against us? We don't. Right? It's the same as they did. I used to work in career services and they did a survey of resumes that said Joe versus Jose. It was exactly the same resume, but they had vastly different results.
Yes.
That's the bias piece that exists that we can't control. So on the front end, it's how do we do as much of that as we can. I also only work with partners who I have talked to. So for example, years ago, the title closer who I work with, I said, get me all of the legal ways people can take title in Florida. Because I wanted to know, do you have to sign? Like I remember I've seen some deeds that still say like a husband and his wife.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Most even straight couples don't want that in 2025,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Where legally you can just take title as a married or a single person or as a married couple. We don't have to put gender in it at all. So often for queer and trans couples, that's helpful because some of those other things that they might be worried about, we can take out of the equation. But people don't always, they don't know what they don't know. And they don't know that those are options that we can handle. We just have to know on the front end.
What an invaluable service you are providing.
Thank you.
That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
How can folks find your, contact information on the web? Like, do you have a website or?
For sure. So thejoneshometeam.com, or admittedly, if you just Google Callan Jones or the Jones Home Team, we have a Google page. Facebook, also any of the sites, so Zillow, Realtor.com, any of those. I have a whole Realtor page and reviews
great.
and things like that. So
Okay.
Realtors are actually pretty easy to find.
Right.
So
It's just knowing
true.
that you're out there.
It's
correct,
true.
correct.
Yeah, especially for those folks that need those, niche services that you're
Absolutely.
offering. Yeah.
And I have a national network. So that's the other thing is people say, oh, I don't live where you live. That's okay. I actually have a website, Your Next LGBTQ Plus Homes. .com, where people who are looking to move will just say, hey, I need an inclusive agent. But even that, you can just text or email me. And I know people in all of the different places.
Oh,
So
that's
say
amazing.
you're moving to Denver or you're moving to Detroit, because so many people have bad realtor experiences. But when you add in being queer or trans, specifically when you add in people who are moving based on fear, right? So it's completely different. And you know this. Think about people who deliver news, and that news is based on, I'm so excited I got a new job. I'm so excited I got this. Okay, if that means that they're moving, they're at least excited about it, right?
Right.
Whereas I feel like I have to move because I don't know if my teenager is going to be safe.
Right.
So I'm having to That's
Wow.
a very different peace, and it's a very different path. And I don't think people always realize, like, people will say real estate's just business. No, it's not. It's somebody's literal life and home. And I say everybody deserves to feel at home.
Mhm.
And the reality is what's happening in the world sometimes doesn't make that real for everyone.
Wow, that's really powerful. So you're really providing not only the real estate experience, but you're doing kind of like a counselor
Yeah.
experience or,
I took
a
counseling
ther
skills
Did
classes in
you?
grad school. It's okay.
Yeah.